On today's session of Family Court with Judge Penny, two very different sisters.
We have different dads.
You're more urban and she's more bougie.
I'm a bigger size than she is.
One very big problem.
She said that she would help me out with the rent and utilities.
If we're family, why should I have to give her money?
She feels that in order for me to make it in entertainment business, I need to be a smaller size as she is.
I do try to tell her what she should eat. I just don't want her to go for an audition or something and then they just make fun of her because she's fat or they don't have like the right size to fit her.
She makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like, you know, it's not okay to be my size.
Underneath all this stuff, I wonder who is that pretty little girl, Michele. This is nothing but a charade. Families in crisis, I know exactly what they're facing. I have been there. From a life of hardship, I was able to build a lifetime of experience. Now, after years of serving on the bench, I use the law to fight for families. It's not only about verdicts, it's about solutions. It's about the compassion and the mercy that justice requires. I'm Judge Penny Brown Reynolds, and in my court, family comes first.
Melani is suing her sister Michele for $303 in unpaid rent for the time her sister stayed with her over the summer. Michele says she doesn't owe her sister anything because she stayed with her for less than a month, and family should help family.
Your Honor, all parties are sworn in.
All right. Melani,
Yes.
you are suing your sister.
Yes, I am.
Now, I noticed that you all have different last names. Why is that?
We have different dads.
Different fathers. Okay. All right, but same mom.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you suing your sister for?
I'm suing my sister for unpaid rent when she lived with me for a couple of weeks.
All right. Was this a written or oral agreement?
This was an oral agreement
And what was the agreement?
that when she moved back down here, she needed a place to stay for a couple of weeks. And while she stayed with me, she said that she would help me out with the rent and utilities.
All right. So how did you come up with 303?
Just calculated my 1/4 of the rent because my rent is $1,215.
You have proof
Yes.
that it was 1,200?
Yes, I have my
Okay.
evidence.
All right. Very good.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Damon. So how did the agreement come into play? Since it was oral, tell me about it.
Well, basically, you know, she wanted to move back to California from Washington, and she had a place to stay, but I guess it fell through.
And so she called and said, can I come and stay with you?
Yes.
And that's when you made the agreement?
No, we didn't make the agreement until she physically was staying with me, because I was looking around like, you're doing a lot, you're eating my food, you know, using my utilities, you know, I need some money for that. So
And
that's
then
when the agreement was made.
Then, okay, and she did make the agreement?
Yes, she did.
All right, Michele,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. So you decided to come out here to LA.
Yeah.
All right. Came in, moved with your sister. Was
Correct.
there an oral agreement?
Yes, there was an oral agreement, but I mean, I really don't think I should have to owe her anything because we're sisters. She should be there for me in my time of need, and I've done plenty of things for her and never asked anything in return.
Okay. Why did you give her that look?
Because, like, I understand we're sisters, but it's like, I'm only 23, you know, I have a lot of bills that I have to pay. My rent is expensive. Of course, I don't mind her staying with me, but $303 is not even a lot compared to how much my rent is, you know? I know she's done a lot for me and I'm always there for her, but at the same time, it's like, I need help. You can't expect me just to take care of you, you know what I mean?
Well, where are you living now, my dear?
In Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Okay. Beverly Hills. How are you affording to be able to live in Beverly Hills?
I work local fashion shows, like just wardrobing and helping models get ready and event staff.
So you have a degree in fashion design?
Yes.
All right. And so what does being a family member have to do with repaying her the money that you promised that you'd pay back?
Well, I just think, like, for me, we went to Vegas, like, for a graduation gift, and I paid for everything. Like, I paid for the food, I paid for the flight, the hotel, and everything, and I never asked for anything in return. And so I just think it's just, if we're family, why should I have to give her money for staying there for 2 weeks?
If you make a promise, do you think you have to honor your word?
Yeah, I think I should. If it's a promise, I didn't really promise to. I just said I'd probably help out.
Oh, you never agreed to do the 2 weeks rent?
I agreed to it, but then it wasn't really a promise. So we didn't like write it down on a piece of paper and I signed something.
Well, guess what? There's something called an oral contract, and it is as valid as a written contract. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. An oral contract is valid if the terms are met, an offer and acceptance. You know, you have to say that. She made an offer that you could stay with me, but you'd have to pay $303. You accepted it by saying sure, and didn't you stay?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it's a valid agreement. That's called an oral contract, right?
Right.
Well, let's go a little deeper than that, because now I think we've got the legal issues kind of out, but there's a lot going on here, right?
Correct.
Because you all are as different as night and day. And because you're opposites, your view of life is a little different. But what I was talking about specifically is when I read all of the materials about the lawsuit, you said you're more urban and she's more bougie.
Correct.
So educate me on this.
Okay, when I say urban, I mean like I'm not into the Vogue, into, you know, the high class fashion, you know, all that type of stuff. I'm more, you know, laid back, casual, you know, go to the mall, go to the regular store. When she's more, I have to shop on Melrose or Rodeo, you know, I want to look just like the models, you know, I'm skinny, I can make it as a model. So it's like we're on two different paths, you know, and they collide because I'm a bigger size than she is. Most of the time she feels that, you know, in order for me to make it in entertainment business, I need to be a smaller size as she is. And I don't feel like that, you know, is the case. What she misunderstands is that, you know, it kind of hurts my feelings the way the certain things that she does, because she makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like, you know, it's not okay to be my size and that there's something wrong with it.
What
that
happens?
Everything has to be her size.
What happens? What's the part that hurt your feelings?
Like for instance, like when we were shopping for my birthday dress, we were in the mall in the regular store, and you know, she'll pick up a dress and she'll say, "This would have looked cute on you," and then we'll like put it back because she knows I can't fit it. And like I know she's not trying to be rude, but
Well, no,
it's
let's
rude.
figure out what are you trying to be.
I'm not trying to be rude. I just think it'd be easier for her to be in the industry if she was skinnier. And I mean, she doesn't have to be like a stick, like, because I know I'm pretty skinny, but just smaller and healthier. It'll be a lot easier to be in the industry.
Well, there's a way to do everything. And taking a little size and say, this would really look good on you if you could fit it. You don't think that's a little mean and hateful?
Still to come on Family Court, Judge Penny turns the tables on Michelle's hateful behavior.
You're doing this on purpose because you know I can't fit nothing in here, so why
You think
go
she's
here?
doing it on purpose, or she's doing it because she's the one really with the low self-esteem?
And later, Judge Penny breaks through Melanie and Michelle's tough exteriors.
There's a lot going on here, because the crying tells me that we're not in here for $303.
Family Court is back in session. Melanie is suing her sister Michele for $303 in unpaid rent from when Michelle stayed at her apartment over the summer. Melanie says Michelle can be mean about her weight and often holds up small dresses she knows won't fit her larger size sister.
Right, yeah, it does sound kind of mean and cruel.
I think it is. And I'm looking at you, and it's hurtful. And that's not good. You know? Because I think you love your sister, right? You all right? Okay, Damon, give her some tissue. What's wrong, baby? Why are you crying? Because you're nothing but little girls. I mean, you're grown 22 and 23, but all right, Melanie needs some too. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Because the crying tells me that we're not in here for $303. Why are you all crying?
Because I just don't want her to like just go somewhere like for an audition or something, and then they just make fun of her because she's fat or they don't have like the right size to fit her.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were talking about how
Let's
that
back
came
it
out.
up. So, because the tears are real, the emotion is real, so it's got to be bigger than these jobs. What is it about you that you're thinking that you would say such a thing to her? Because you seem to love her. Why were you crying?
Just because I think I am really hard on her about her weight, and just like for me, I've had, even though I'm skinny, I've still had like people with me trying to be, because I used to want to be a model, like trying to be in the industry, like you're not skinny enough. I've had like your butt's too big, like, you know, just stuff like that.
People
and,
said that about you?
Yeah.
Girl, come from behind this desk. You looking like a little pencil. Turn around. Child, please. You're not bigger than my little finger. I'm so concerned about this obsession that we have with weight and trying to judge folks by their weight. What you're supposed to have in this life, you're gonna have it no matter how you look. But what was meant for your life, you're gonna have. And it's not gonna go by trying to be something in the magazine. Because Michele, I'm concerned about you in terms of what you are following all these little images. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like that it girl thing. I'm so amazed at the superficiality of things. If it's meant for her to be a publicist and to do her thing, it's not all about size. But you have to start communicating to your sister in love. Because I'm thinking you have a lot of love for her, but I'm hearing that you might be a little passive aggressive. What you think?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Well, don't agree just because you can put up a fight.
Well, I think it is true, and I do, like, try to tell her what she should eat, and like she should like do the We Fit exercises, and she's.
Well, how does that make you feel though when she says?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate it. I just think it's the way that she says things. It's hurtful. It's not in a helpful manner. It's more of a hurtful manner.
Now, I could see what she did with the dress. What else? Give me an example, because she needs some examples so that she can hear what it is she's doing. Mm-hmm. Now, the dress thing was hateful. Anybody who pulls out a smaller dress at anybody and say, I don't know, you probably wasn't a 0, 0.
0.
You're in a 0. So let's say there was a 0, 0, 0. And I pulled it out and said, oh, this would be cute on you, but you can't fit it. You see how hateful that is?
Yeah.
Okay, what else is she doing so that we can eliminate some of that, so that we can get you to a place where the love shows in a proper way?
Well, it's very hard for me sometimes to shop with her because she doesn't like to shop at the malls. She likes to shop on like Rodeo or like, you know, little stores like that.
Are you really trying to shop on Rodeo?
I'm not that bad. Like, I mean, some stuff, like, I get there, but I go to, like, little vintage shops on Melrose, too.
But, like, stores like that, she know I can't find nothing in there. Because it's like, okay, well, you're doing this on purpose because you know I can't fit nothing in here, so why go here?
You think she's doing it on purpose, or she's doing it because she's the one really with the low self-esteem?
Still to come on Family Court, Judge Penny gets to the heart of Michele's need to have brand-name clothing and to be part of the it crowd.
What is this obsession with brand? That means that's something outside of you. You're deriving something that you're missing inside of you, honey. And I'm wondering, at 22, what happened? This is nothing but a charade.
Family Court is back in session. Melani is suing for unpaid rent from her sister Michele. Melani has also revealed that her sister is mean to her about her weight and buys designer-labeled clothing as status symbols.
People who won't even think past a paper bag might say you might be the one with the low self-esteem because you're the heavy one. But indeed, what is this obsession with brand? You're deriving something that you're missing inside of you, honey. And I'm wondering, at 22, what happened? You know what Judge is saying? Because in order to feel good with yourself, you got to go there and it makes you feel important, right? Judge is telling you what she knows. You don't think I went through all that? That's why I could talk about it? I was missing something. For me, I didn't have love. I had the love of my mother, but I didn't have my father. And it haunted me all the days of my life. So I would go with things outside of me. You think that's what's happening?
Yeah.
Where's that hole in your soul?
I think it's a big part of that, just like missing like my dad, and then now that Melani and I aren't really as close as we used to be, like, it's really hard.
What do you think about that, Melani? You have a relationship with your father? Do you think that's caused something missing in you? You know, there's a brokenness because we believe that if those who gave us birth and life on this planet doesn't think enough to be in our lives, that it somehow breaks our spirits. And that's what's going on here. You put on weight because of it, and you try to be the it girl because of it. And in the long run, end up looking real foolish in the process. Because underneath all this stuff, I wonder who is that pretty little girl, Michele. And the whole get-up, it's almost like a costume in some ways. Because I can see through that. Do you hear? All my years of heartache has helped me to be able to see that this is nothing but a charade. And riding down that street is trying to make you feel good, but it can't give you what you need. And we got to get you some self-esteem. Because guess what? Even if you didn't have your fathers, look how it happened that you have each other. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Because one thing I know, you do love each other.
Still to come, Judge Penny has a breakthrough moment with Melani and Michele.
I know I'm touching something that probably hasn't been touched in a while. Has anybody ever told you this, sweetheart?
Back in session, Michele is being sued by her sister Melani for $303 in unpaid rent. Their once close relationship has become distant, and Judge Penny wants to know why.
I'm looking at both of you, and I'm looking in your eyes. I can see there's more to all of this, and that you're just hurting. But you got each other. When are we going to start looking at the glass and see it? That's a lot of water in that glass, as opposed to seeing that somebody has drank. Who had my water? Damon, did you drink some of my water? I want you to laugh because I know I'm touching something that probably hasn't been touched in a while. Has anybody ever told you this, sweetheart?
No.
No. You think Judge is dead on it?
Yes.
Yeah. I want you to go back and try to do some reevaluation. You all have each other, right?
Right.
And you don't have to be all those girls on television. Honey, it's all a charade and a get-up for even them, too. All for the cameras. They put their hair on and everything else. I wish I could bring all of them in court and Judge Penny have a talk with them, too. Because there's a lot of hurting going on. And so if you want to do it, then you do it for the right reason, and you don't do it by putting your sister down. And with you, it's the same thing. You were eating your frustration and your hurt away. You don't have to be her. You make your mark on you. You all keep dreaming now, but you got to put it in perspective. And you know what? I'm so glad as young women I had the opportunity to have you in my court, because I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. You let it go about your daddies. You focus on the fact that you have each other. It's their losses for them not to have you. Don't get it from a man. Don't get it from thinking you're going to be his famous publicist, nor from your outfits or shopping in Melrose. Is it Melrose?
Yeah. It is.
Okay. Rodeo Drive. Yeah. Find it within you and begin to love you. Now that I've opened this up, then you be more reflective. All right? I believe that there was an oral contract. What do you think now that we've been talking?
Yes.
I think so. I see where you have provided me with the evidence. I believe that indeed you told your sister you can come be with me for 2 weeks, but you got to pay me $303. I want this relationship back together because it's more important than anything else, but I want you all to be whole. But we're going to get back on the track?
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $303, and I wish you all the best, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Case is adjourned.
All rise.
Still to come, find out what happened when Melani and Michele left the courtroom.
Definitely, I think I will be more accepting of her and her feelings, and just not to be so hard on her about her weight and everything, because I know she's really sensitive about that.
Of course, I want my sister to be my best friend. I love her to death, and there's nothing more that I would want than that.
Thank you for tuning in today. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. I would love to hear your views and opinions. See you in the next session.